3 blades got driven straight into my chest, but I didn't even blink, because the pain from those hits didn't even touch me. I grabbed the guy by his shoulders to keep him from escaping. Meanwhile, despair completely took over his eyes, and his partner started crawling on the ground. He begged me for mercy in exchange for all of his wealth. But the rule here is simple. If you tried to take me out, I'd take everything you own and send you straight to the next world. I looked deep into his eyes and told him, I hate liars. Then I finished them off in the worst way possible. But none of this would have happened if I hadn't discovered a crazy secret on the day of my awakening. Surrounded by a pack of level 5 gray wolves, a boy desperately tries to escape while crying out for his parents. Sharp fangs and hungry eyes fill the wolves as they suddenly pounce on the kid. Panicking completely, the boy covers his head in tears, thinking he is about to become wolf food. Precise slashes of light cut through the air like invisible blades, slicing the wild beasts to pieces in an instant. The boy hears a comforting voice assuring him that everything is okay now. Crying uncontrollably, the kid asks if he is finally safe and out of danger. Reaching out to the scared boy, the mysterious man offers to take him back to the safety of the city. Nearing the city gates, the boy learns his savior is the super-famous Lu Jianing, leader of the Destiny Covenant Association. Sitting comfortably on the stairs, Chen Shi seems surprised to unlock the Shadow Mage class, while armed skeletons guard his perimeter. Reflecting on this new start, our guy feels his unlocked elemental class is useful but pretty ordinary in today's world. Frustrated by the slow skill, his teammate asks how long until he spawns more skeletons, and he awkwardly answers 10 minutes. Chen Shi understands why no one wants a Shadow Mage support, since skeletons vanish fast and leave the summoner totally defenseless. Checking his floating panel, our guy sees that despite his low starting level, his high score guarantees at least a special class. Looking at the screen, the kid notices all his base stats cap at 10 points, showing a totally average start to his journey. By standard awakening rules, scores between 25 and 85 unlock normal classes, while higher scores unlock SSS hidden classes. Chen Shi notes that only one girl named Jiang Menhui passed a score of 105, earning her the title of Heaven's Chosen, surpassing that girl by 40 points. Chen Shi wonders which class she managed to awaken. Yang Menhui officially awakens the SSS Rank Void Wanderer class, leaving everyone around her completely stunned. Standing inside a glowing blue magic circle, Xiang Menhui stays calm as beams of light slice the air before the stunned crowd. Classmates celebrate her impressive awakening and wonder how she unlocked that tier despite lower stats than Chen Shi's score. Jiang Menhui draws everyone's attention when they realize her spiritual power was lower, yet she still reached that high rank. Chen Shi worries he might miss next month's Destiny Covenant recruitment if Master Luo Zhenning discovers his actual class. Chen Shi admires the Destiny Covenant headquarters, Great Xia's top government guild led by Master Luo Zhenning. To earn a spot in the guild 1 month after Awakening Day, applicants must pass strict trials at their academies. With blue flames dancing around her hands, she mentions rumors that the guild only recruits rookies with rare or hidden classes. Hearing this, students with normal classes panic, realizing the competition will be brutal. Surrounded by excited chatter, Chen Shi walks past the crowd as everyone praises the talented girl who just walked by. While everyone celebrates her arrival, Chen Shi quietly watches with a plain expression. Despite the commotion, the mysterious girl remains stoic and ignores the conversations around her. Leaves sway under a clear blue sky as sunlight glimmers through the treetops. Stopping in front of Zhang City's second orphanage, our guy observes its classic design and pointed towers. Walking inside dejectedly, Chen Shi tells a concerned friend that he just wants to go to his room without dinner. Seeing his gloom, someone steps up and asks if something went wrong with his awakening. Wanting peace, Chen Shi enters his room to isolate himself from the chaos and rest in silence. Lying on his bed, our guy ponders the unfair world where Jiang Menhui effortlessly stays at the top. Chen Shi realizes that Shadow Mage is not completely useless, and better gear plus higher levels could bring hope. Closing his eyes, Chen Shi determines to keep fighting to overcome every expectation. With renewed drive, the kid promises never to give up on his goals, no matter what it takes. A mysterious blue hologram appears in the air, showing a system update loading bar at 50%. Hitting the halfway mark, the magic screen makes the young man wonder what new feature will unlock. Reaching 100%, the screen completes the update, shocking him with its self-evolving ability. A detailed window pops up in front of him, showing his Shadow Mage class with base stats set to level 10. Checking his newly unlocked skill stats, the kid sees average numbers for a novice Shadow Mage. Chen Shi stands confused as he tries to process the information displaying on the floating panel. trying to understand the new features. The young man wonders what kind of strange power this golden trait is. Recalling academy lectures, Qin tries to remember if anyone in history ever unlocked a golden trait. Spotting the legendary arcane grace trait on his screen, the youth tries to grasp this absurd level of power. A side effect spreads across the interface, and the kid realizes all his stats are getting an insane bonus. With a no-code shelf sign glowing on screen, the young man realizes he can now spam spells endlessly. Startled by the sudden pop-up, the young man notices the screen giving exact commands to trigger his new skills. Startled by shouts upstairs, Qi's mother stops her chores to see who is screaming like that. Staring at glowing alerts that confirm 0 cooldown between spells, the young man wonders if he is dreaming. Grinning ear to ear, the youth calculates that his energy supply lets him summon 10 creatures at once. Taking full advantage of the boost, Qi summons an army of glowing-eyed skeleton warriors from the floor. Seeing his mana system functioning smoothly, Qi realizes he can summon skeletons without stopping. As his powers surges, a massive skeletal dragon floats overhead while he celebrates commanding a huge force. Confident he can shock the world in just 1 month, the young man believes the guild will grant him an exception. Ordering his undead army to march, our guy leaves his mother terrified by the creepy undead presence. Smiling widely, the kid thinks of his mentor and vows to make those who believed in him proud. Reaching the dungeon hall, the young man finds a bustling hub full of adventurers prepping for missions. Surrounded by heavy armor warriors and hooded mages, adventurers sharpen weapons before entering the gate. Heading to the starter training field, the youth in beginner gear notices the empty grounds and wonders why. Remembering their past, Lu Jinheng confronts Qi, recalling how he bragged about unlocking a rare class. Showing his arrogance, the guy claims a massive gap in power and coldly tells our guy to stop chasing him. Xingwei shows up showing off Qi's ex-girlfriend, mocking our protagonist's weak skeleton summons. Knowing society favors elite skills, the youth accepts being dumped by an ex who chased higher prestige. On top of rejection, he is known as Xingwei's rival, leaving others too scared of payback to party with him. Classmates watch from afar, noting how approaching Qi would infuriate Xingwei and cause big trouble. Left alone, the kid walks toward the beginner dungeon to fight solo and farm experience points to level up. Approaching the glowing rift, the kid readies himself to step into danger inside the solo dungeon. Wearing a futuristic black mask with metallic trim, Lu Jinheng watches our guy from a distance. Outside, Lu Jinheng notes that the boy just crossed the barrier into the beginner dungeon. Floating screens detail dungeon rules, capping entry below level 10, while monsters grow stronger near the edge. Holograms warn that entering monster range triggers combat instantly, locking off escape to safe zones. Stepping into the danger zone, Qi activates his skill as magic circles glow across the ground. Lurking in darkness, giant rodents with glowing green eyes emerge quietly from the dungeon shadows. Checking the level 1 rodent stats, the kid sees it grants little XX and has a 3-meter attack range. Surrounded by green-eyed rodents, our guy calmly assesses the swarm charging toward him. The kid notes that at level 0, the main challenge is managing aggro so you do not get swarmed. Stopping firmly on the gray floor for momentum, the kid readies to leap right into the action. Calculating the distance, the youth steps past the boundary line to lure monsters into his trap. Hitting the mark with a magic orb, the kid releases a shockwave that knocks the beasts backward. With focused eyes, the youth raises his hand as magical energy flows to summon his undead legion. Summoning a huge staff topped with a glowing gem, Qi unleashes a swirling shadow energy storm. Unleashing magic wind, our guy summons glowing-eyed spectral forms that fill the room with bright blue light. Qi smiles as his armored skeleton squad takes the front line while dark energy glows behind them. Readying his staff, Qi concentrates dark energy to wipe out any threat standing in his way. Seeing his mana bar empty, Qi knows he must manage his energy wisely to keep fighting monsters. Calculating his mana limit, the kid decides summoning 40 skeletons at once will crush the enemy horde. Surrounded by dozens of skeleton warriors, Qi leads his force as dark magic floods the area. Swarming from ancient ruins, a huge horde of giant rodents charges as skeleton warriors brace for impact. Weapon in hand, Qi leaps forward as his skeleton troops march right behind to crush everything. Driven by anger against the beasts, our guy orders his skeleton warriors to wipe out every creature. Roaring loud to intimidate the beasts, the skeleton army unleashes a dark energy wave through the air. Dark energy slashes cut through the air, hitting rodents trying to flee the skeleton assault. Every slain rodent yields experience points, pushing his progress bar forward on the screen. Experience points rise on screen as Qi wipes out more rodents, securing a huge advantage. Each defeated rodent drops loot and valuable X, sending Chen-Shi's level skyrocketing. Watching the slaughter, our guy sees the screen log each kill and add the experience points. With every confirmed kill, the kid racks up experience fast as dark skeletons keep dropping rodents. Focused on his interface, Chen-Shi taps the glowing green hologram floating before him. In under 10 minutes, the kid reaches level 1 and sees his accomplishment displayed on screen. Seeing solo X-speed party splits, he reaches level 1 with stats spread across strength, intelligence, agility, and vitality. From the interface, he earns 5 extra bonus points to assign anywhere on his status sheet. Tapping the screen, Chen-Shi invests all his newly earned points directly into intelligence. Our guy learns that for magic classes, intelligence controls spell potency and maximum mana reserves. With stats boosted, he sees his energy supply must keep pace to cast high-level spells efficiently. Hitting 250 energy points, Lu Jennings celebrates longer summons to dominate the field. Powers surging, Chen-Shi triggers dark magic to turn the field into a killing zone for nearby rodents. Surrounded by dark aura skeletons, the youth wields his staff and guides his undead army through ruins. Moving nimbly across stone streets, the young man steps firmly to advance to the next fight. Crossing the portal to the second layer, Chen-Shi marches with his undead force, ready for action. Holding his glowing staff firmly, the young man inspects the mysterious surroundings. Howling with glowing red eyes, a wolf beast vents its rage and bears sharp fangs amid the chaos. System screens show the approaching pack consists of level 2 gray wolves worth 20 XP each. As danger rises, Chen-Shi summons shadow power to turn the battle around. Emerging suddenly, the summoned skeleton warriors rush the enemies in silver armor. Reflecting the skeleton's skull in its red pupil, the gray wolf realizes danger is upon it. Multiple alerts pop up as skeleton warriors quickly farm experience off the gray wolves. As ambient energy peaks, Chen-Shi gathers his power to unleash a ground-shaking shockwave. Leveling up fast, our guy celebrates as the interface confirms his power gain. Checking his screen, Chen-Shi sees his level 2 Shadow Mage progress bar update in detail. A green notification pops up confirming the kill and awarding extra experience points. Slumped on the floor, the defeated Grey Wolf twitches as a blue panel confirms bonus experience points. With dozens of Grey Wolves downed, purple energy fills the area showing our guy's dominant power. Surrounded by shadow-summoned skeletons, the youth scans the dark horizon as eerie energy hums. Ahead, a huge blue snake with glowing scales and intense eyes glares at the skeleton squad. Giant blue serpents emerge from all sides as the ground shakes under their presence. Raising his dark staff, the youth prepares a counterattack, while a skeleton covers his back. Holding his staff tight with dark magic, Chen-Shi guides his skeleton troops into combat. Slicing the air quickly, the kid's staff shoots a reddish magic orb toward the foe. Undead soldiers advance in tight formation, clearing the path with glowing blades. Taking down another target, Chen-Shi collects 30 XP while his skeleton army presses on. Defeating another serpent, the screen logged points as skeleton troops slash forward. After 2 hours of fighting, the area is cleared and Chen-Shi takes a breather to inspect loot. After 3.5 hours, his level surges, unlocking new skills every 5 levels. Tapping the screen, Chen-Shi opens new skill options to prepare for his next move. Seeing his level 5 Shadow Mage stats, Chen-Shi finds major boosts to his active skills. Unlocking Corpse Explosion, our guy gains a 0 mana spell that blows up controlled skeletons for area damage. Wearing fresh sneakers, our guy readies to explore deeper into the dungeon's stone stairs. Marching through dark halls, Chen-Shi leads a squad of heavy armored skeleton warriors. Standing before a glowing blue magic rift, Chen-Shi watches a portal open in front of him. A level 5 elite armored rhino lizard spawns, yielding 50 experience upon defeat. The screen shows the elite beast has ironclad, charging in a line causing bleed and reflecting melee damage. Terrifying roars echo through the cavern as giant armored beasts glare near the magic portal. Smiling at a skeleton squad, Chen-Shi decides this elite group is ideal for testing his new skills. Raising his staff, Chen-Shi commands his undead army to press onward to the dungeon's 5th level. Chen-Shi steps through the portal. Moving nimbly across the stone floor, Chen-Shi sprints as glowing trails follow his shoes. Facing 2 spiked elite monsters, our guy waits as his skeleton army takes battle positions on level 5. Heavy armored beasts rush in packs, but our protagonist narrowly dodges their wild attack. Ordering his armored skeleton troops, Chen-Shi commands them to break the enemy line. Triggering Corpse Explosion, our guy sets off a massive blast to wipe out surrounding foes. Chen-Shi's skeleton squad slams into enemy defenses, shattering armor and causing chaos. Chain explosions cover the field as screen pop-ups confirm the beast's defeat and exp Banes. Golden alerts flash across the screen as Chen Shi stacks up experience points from the fight. Casting dark magic with a swift motion, our guy summons extra shadows straight into battle. Raising his arm firmly, Chen Shi orders his summons to unleash their special skill into the pack. Stopping at a sudden pop-up notification, Chen Shi raises an eyebrow upon unlocking a new skill. An audio ping alerts Luo Zhening, drawing his full attention to the newly unlocked passive skill. Chen Shi learns he unlocked Soul Covenant Guardian, redirecting 100% of damage to summons. Smirking, our protagonist mentally calculates the massive perks of stacking these powerful boosts. Roaring fiercely, armored beasts charge forward while emitting a bright blue aura of energy. Noticing a gap after the heavy impact, Chen Shi narrows his eyes as a beast slips past the wall. As smoke fills the cavern, Chen Shi sees two massive spiked beasts charging straight at him. Slamming into the ground with full force, the giant beast shatters stone and kicks up dust. Dodging the deadly pounce, our guy dives to the floor as his magic staff knocks away. Triggering automatically, the system reports Soul Covenant Guardian activated to save him in time. At the critical moment, a skeleton servant steps in to absorb the massive hit from the beast. Withstanding the blow, the armored skeleton flares mystical fire around its skull and holds firm, ordering his undead to eliminate the threat. The Shadow Mage stays focused as they swarm the beast, counterattacking. The summoned skeleton swings a black flamed blade to strike the monster down. The clean strike hits the monster's weak point, triggering system alerts for victory and experience. Screen alerts confirm the giant beast is slain, awarding the kid 50 experience points. Heavy footsteps echo through the hall as our mysterious guy keeps moving through the area. Feeling hungry, the kid admits he wants food and hunts more targets to wrap things up. Realizing it is past mealtime, our guy considers pausing his intense session to grab a bite. Driven to grab food soon, the youth pushes into the next challenge as bright energy crackles. Surrounded by busy chatter from all sides, our protagonist walks through city streets. Wearing his black mask, Luo Zhening watches people chatting near the glowing blue rift. Using insight, Luo Zhening analyzes the situation to figure out what is happening around him. Reading data, Luo Zhening notes the level 5 tack above his target while evaluating stats. Shocked by unexpected data changes, Luo Zhening widens his eyes as digital screens reflect in them. Beeping softly, Luo Zhening's gauntlets automatically tighten around his wrists for combat. As screens show Chen Shi leaving the training zone, Luo Zhening gets the update on his device. Yang Mengwei looks surprised upon learning her rival reached the impressive level 5 mark. Returning home, Zhang Menwei enters her family mansion with classic design and manicured grounds. Ancient pages turn quickly, revealing complex arcana diagrams and runes on yellowed paper. Sitting at her desk reading documents, Zhang Menwei holds a thick book and complains of dizziness. Talking to her tutor, she notes schoolwork can wait since leveling up as fast as possible is priority. Pushed to speed up, she counters that her secret class already guarantees entry into Destiny Covenant. Annoyed by her laziness, Zhang Minwei's tutor loses patience and slams his palm on the desk. Upset with her slack, the tutor demands focus, reminding her that her father heads guild recruitment. Tired of scolding, the girl pouts and places her hand over the heavy textbook. Wanting food before monster hunting, she tells her tutor, who watches with folded arms. Frustrated by her stubborn attitude, the tutor sighs that spoiled raising made her think she rules all. Prepping for action, Jiang Menwei tightens her tech bracelet and adjusts her battle gear. Checking her screen, Jiang Mengwei learns Chen Shi left testing grounds after hitting level 5, urging her to finish eating and focus on training. The tutor shows impatience at her slow pace. The tutor demands level 5 by nightfall while she ponders her rival's huge spiritual points. Curious about hard grinders, Zhang Mengwei asks her dad about starting trial rules. Warning of extreme danger, Chen Shi stresses that the starter grounds hide a deadly trap. Disliking the system, Zhang Mengwei complains extra expa does not make up for slow efficiency. Crossing his arms, the tutor argues spending 10 hours in that spot is absurd. Surprised by Chen Shi's wild speed, the mentor sees the boy completed the trial in 2 hours. Connecting clues about his mysterious power, Zhang Menwei wonders if he holds a rare class. The tutor clarifies that beginner skeletons expire fast, leaving the caster vulnerable. Curious about trial results, the clan tutor asks if anyone else stood out besides her. Taken aback by the sudden question, the goatee man looks baffled about his tutor's point. Refusing to share testing area details, Zhang Menwei crosses her arms defensively. Defending his stance, the goatee man argues that strict pressure is meant for her own good. Shrugging at questions about other candidates, the dark-haired girl claims total ignorance. Saying a sudden goodbye, the mature man with the goatee leaves the room, leaving her alone. Walking gracefully across hardwood floors, Jiang Manhwa wears heels and a dark cloak, holding her comms unit. Jiang Manhwa orders her subordinates to track Chen Shi's moves. Cobblestone streets and medieval buildings form Outer Street in Central Square, Tianyi City. Wearing stylish shoes and dark pants, Chen Shi arrives and steps calmly onto the tile walkway. Fancy decor marks Shengqian Grand Restaurant, Tianyi City's premier spot run by top chefs. Wearing his printed shirt and shorts, Chen Shi pauses before the grand entrance, taking it in. Upstairs, the head chef reveals his secret elemental magic chef class, boosting stats with magic food. Finding prices too steep, our protagonist opts for street food before rushing off to dungeons. Standing on the busy street, Chen Shi bumps into a flashy party returning from a big mission. Xingwei freezes instantly upon recognizing the guy standing right in front of him. Xingwei breaks the silence, asking sarcastically why our guy has not leveled up yet. Xingwei keeps taunting, asking ironically if our guy was feeling full of himself earlier. Xingwei mocks his rival's basic gear despite having so many points invested in spiritual power. Xingwei points at his party's gear, claiming Chen Shi cannot even afford a single boot. Tired of the constant chatter, our protagonist bluntly tells the bully to scram. Enraged by the insolence, Chen Shi glares with deadly eyes and coldly orders him to repeat that. Xingwei steps up with clenched fists, trying to intimidate the youth aggressively. Amid tense air, our guy stays cool while Lucy watches attentively from the background. Lucy watches the drama unfold before her with a solemn face and stays silent. Jiang Manhwa drops a flying kick on Xingwei's face, defending her guy and sending the bully airborne. Xingwei crashes hard onto the pavement, kicking up dust and hitting the floor violently. Rising furiously, Xingwei screams in disbelief after taking a hit from that girl. Xingwei is shocked to realize the girl who humiliated him is Jiang Manhwa, Heaven's chosen. Wanting no trouble with her, Xingwei claims it was a misunderstanding and pulls his team away. Xingwei orders his henchmen to scram quickly and cleared the area. Swallowing his hurt pride, Xingwei vows to settle the score with Chen Shi when he finds him solo. Lucy watches the commotion up close while Chen Shi takes in the scene calmly. Staring into space, Chen Shi thinks to himself that the feeling is completely mutual. Jiang Manhwa offers to buy him food, while a heavily armored burly man guards her from behind. Declining her offer politely, the kid says it is not necessary and thanks her for the help. Onlookers note her elite party while the big guy invites others to hunt, but she wants food first. Interface rules show that grouping players with big level gaps causes severe X penalties. Jiang Manhwa then asks if our protagonist needs better equipment to speed up his leveling. Politely declining her aid, our guy thanks her intentions and prefers to head off alone for food. Multiple adventurer groups scatter across the dungeon hall to begin their daily raids. Walking fast in cool boots, our protagonist travels the paved walkway, observing details around. Masked onlookers pass by as Luo Jianing walks wearing a light shirt printed across the chest. Pausing at the building, Luo Jianing wonders why someone walked toward the group dungeon zone. Checking options, Luo Jianing sees 2 dungeons under level 10, Frostmole Cave and Infernal Lair. Adventurer parties group inside magic circles as glowing spells mark teleportation to dungeons. Stepping on glowing runes, Luo Jianing triggers magic, wrapping his boots in blue light. As magic radiates around Luo Jianing, a dark armored warrior watches closely from the corner. Facing a floating dungeon menu, the youth reaches out his hand to tap the bright screen. Before the entry prompt, the young man confirms his choice by tapping yes on the screen. Under rival's eyes, teleport magic engulfs the youth as he readies for dungeon threats. Seeing his boldness, a masked onlooker gasps at his madness in entering a party dungeon solo. Teleport magic sends him straight inside Frostmole Cave where snow and ice dominate the area. Floating windows state the area is level 5 with 3 zones to clear before the main boss. Glowing circles form under his feet as ancient power activates freezing teleportation. Screens show normal difficulty has 150 Frostmoles, 3 elites, and Frostmole King. Lacking a jacket, the kid complains of cold while walking the icy dungeon floor. Our guy notes endless summons clear party dungeons easily, though he needs better gear and gold. Firm footsteps mark our guy's march across snow as he explores the freezing dungeon. Dark energy flares around his hand as our guy grips his wooden staff to strike a blow. Bursts of pure energy detonate in blue light as staff magic slices through freezing air. Iron-armored skeletons spawn on the battlefield, summoned by dark, sinister magic. Massive heavy-armored skeletons with swords line up, glaring at their master for order. Skeletons charge across snow, silver blades cutting through air to crush frozen enemies. Level 5 Frost Moles dig up with red eyes, targeting flesh targets for 70x per kill. Lacking flesh, the skeleton summons are ignored by Frost Moles, keeping aggro stable. Silver blades slash through air as skeleton warriors slice up escaping Frost Moles. Clean skeleton hits award valuable points while system pop-ups log defeated Frost Moles. Seeing massive gains, our guy notices XP beats regular dungeons while loot drops non-stop. Standing calmly while skeletons handle work, our guy finds picking up loot a bit dull. Clearing the previous area easily, our protagonist tells his undead to head to the elite zone. Giant ice blocks crash to the cavern floor, shattering frozen ground across the area. The screen shows the elite beast has frostbite and groundquake but low magic resistance. Watching carefully, our protagonist knows exactly how to handle this ice monster fast. Ordering dark summons, our protagonist points at the giant beast and surrounds it completely. Leaping in with his staff ready, our protagonist attacks while skeletons surround the beast. To finish the giant beast, the kid orders his skeleton squad to detonate right in its face. Massive blasts echo around as red damage numbers confirm his strategy hit the mark. Winning the fight, a light window confirms the boss is beaten, awarding 300 XP. Collecting system rewards, our guy looks around to inspect the icy battle area. Inspecting drop year, the kid checks a robe with powerful magic stats for summoners. Low magic resist on local beasts lets him use Corpse Explosion for massive burst damage. Opening inventory, the kid clicks the new item and equips it on his character. Wearing the new magic robe, he feels power flow, raising summon limits to clear maps faster. Amid icy chaos, fresh threats appear to block the kid's progress through the dungeon. With focused eyes, Chen-Shi plans his next strategy against beasts roaming the icy area. Battle cries echo in the icy dungeon as fierce beasts charge our guy at full intensity. Channeling magic through his staff, Chen-Shi readies an attack as ambient energy vibrates. Summoned skeletons attack frozen beasts as Chen-Shi maintains a frantic offensive. Undead legions march in tight formation, taking the lead in battle. As chaos ramps up, a skeleton clashes directly with an armored beast on the icy floor. Splatters of blood and debris color the ground red as the violent clash continues. After the fight, calm settles over the area as our guy walks across frozen ground. Reaching the core of the icy area, the young man finds the boss room and senses danger. Before him stands Frost Mole King, wearing a crown and heavy armor, unengaged in combat. Raising his staff, the kid unleashes a dark shadow wave consuming all space around him. Commanding his skeleton legion, the kid orders them to pin the boss down before detonating. Armored skeleton soldiers flank from the side, helmets reflecting dark magic charge. Undead squads surround Frost Mole King from all sides as combat reaches its peak. Each skeleton advances in formation to corner the beast inside the dark cavern. Surrounding Frost Mole King, the undead legion grabs his limbs to immobilize him completely. A red energy explosion erupts as Chen-Shi's final blow blasts the boss with destruction. Violent impacts detonate across the arena as red energy fills the brutal assault. The crash sends debris flying, knocking the Mole King down to the cavern floor. Defeating the boss yields rich loot, as system alerts log experience gains for our guy. With victory, the system screen flashes a claim loot button for our kid to tap. Purple rare loot drops, giving him heavy armor boots and a frost staff on his first try. Gripping his new staff, our guy feels magic pulse as blue mana shockwaves swirl around it. The Frostbone staff offers 30 intelligence, 300 mana, and is worth 8,000 gold. Holding his new weapon, the kid admires the power of his newly acquired Frostbone staff. With the dungeon clear, a system panel offers the option to leave and return to the city. Returning to the hall, our young mage yawns, showing exhaustion from fierce battles. As Luo Zhenyuzing watches, someone teleports through the portal in a flash of blue light. Staring at stats, Luo Zhenying can barely believe the kid's record-clear time in the cave. Master Lu Zhenying widens his eyes, wondering how anyone broke the dungeon's speed record. Rare details on the frost robe and staff glow brightly as the kid wears his new gear. Luo Zhenying is speechless, seeing rare drops earned on a single run in that icy dungeon. Confused by dropped comms, Luo Zhenying wonders if Chen-Shi hit an unexpected problem. Before resting, Chen-Shi re-enters the dungeon immediately, stunning anyone watching. Fully geared in new legendary robe and staff, the youth impresses everyone watching afar. Striking fast, an armored knight hits the beast's jaw, making it howl in pain. Shocked, Zhang Mingguai can hardly believe the boy cleared the challenge solo so fast. Assessing group yield, she sees Shadow Mage requires heavy effort despite high spirit. Aware of their gap, Zhang Mingguai wonders how he hit such an absurdly high level. She wonders how he cleared elites and the boss unscathed using only basic spells. Baffled by what she saw, Zhang Mengwei wonders if anything could be more absurd. Luo Zhening watches the area while the system logs everything that happened in the cave. Skeptical of the feat, Luo Zhening wonders if clearing dungeons solo is really that fun. Enjoying the ice while leading skeletons, our guy decides to raid until dinner and rest. Dusk brings an orange glow over city domes as time passes and the day comes to an end. Using skills to move fast, Luo Zhening activates teleportation to return to his base. Back in the lobby, Luo Zhening is asked by a teammate if our guy will keep raiding. Breathing softly under his black mask, the young mage calls it a day in the dungeons. Reassuring his ally, Luo Zhening mentions he is nearby and suggests taking a rest. Wrapping up, Luo Zhening walks dusk streets in a white shirt, checking a floating screen. Checking screens, the youth sees rare loot stacked up and plans to sell it on the market. Analyzing loot values, Luo Zhening realizes specific items need care to sell for max gold. Holding a glowing staff filled with blue magic, the young man prepares a decisive attack. A mysterious scroll fills Luo Zhening's hands, revealing a secret dungeon treasure map. Holding the scroll, Luo Zhening reads detailed info about a level 10 dungeon inside. Pondering matters, Luo Zhening wonders who to ask to track down his missing classmate. Caught off guard, Luo Zhening hears a familiar female voice behind him call it a coincidence. Suspicious, Luo Zhening considers if someone from the Jiang family tracked him down. Offering a treasure map, Luo Zhening proposes a 70-30 split on dungeon loot. Surprised by the rare scroll, Zhang Mengwei recognizes its value and asks where he found it. Calling it a rare drop, Luo Zhening notes the level 10 dungeon is safer than it looks. Accepting without hesitation, Zhang Mengwei excitedly agrees to close the deal. Set for tomorrow, Zhang Mengwei leaves, leaving Luo Zhening slightly tense at the outcome. Holding the scroll, the young man wonders if she rushed off fearing he might back out. The next day, newly awakened students must return to the academy early in the morning. On ranking day, the academy packs with students eager to climb boards and prove skills. Walking through main gates, Zhenshi carries his backpack through an excited crowd, drawing all eyes of flashy luxury car parks right in the plaza before the academy gates. Inside the car, her tutor asks about her level 5 training while seeing students show off gear. Confident, Zhang Mengwei says she hit level 5 yesterday with over 80% XP. Praising her speed, the tutor assumes she must hold first place in the entire class. Surprising him, she admits a rival reached level 8, making first place impossible now. Stepping out, Zhang Mengwei dismisses guards, planning a dungeon raid with a friend later. Calling her, the tutor says he will recruit for Destiny Covenant and check the leaderboard. Looking serious, Zhang Mengwei makes it clear her father's daughter will not take top spot. Excitement fills the auditorium as rookie rankings release, raising hype for top spots. Smiling in heavy armor, Xingwei sits with crossed arms watching the auditorium excitement. Watching closely, Xingwei stares at the screen revelation before the curious student crowd. Asking Chen Shi's level, Xingwei gets ignored as our guy chooses to stay silent to taunts. Answering directly, the kid calmly states that he and Lucy reached level 4 in power. Sitting isolated in the auditorium, Chen Shi waits quietly for rankings to be revealed. Replying calmly, Chen Shi says the official scoreboard will appear on screen right now. Xingwei argues the leaderboard shows only 30 spots, claiming novices like Chen Shi fail. Looking down arrogantly, Ying Wei eagerly waits to see his rival embarrassed on screen. Principal Li Mingchen takes the stage in a suit alongside Jiang Zhengxiang, City Guild's chief. Recognizing Jiang Zhengxiang, Zhang Menwei's father, students know his presence adds hype. In heavy armor, Xingwei tells other school heads are seated, hushing sarcastic comments. Xingwei drops a sharp jab at the casual-suited boy, who merely crosses his arms in response. Silence fills the hall as Principal Li Mingtian raises a hand to begin guild announcements. Explaining rules, Li Mingqian smiles, noting he leads morning assembly post-awakening day. Continuing, Li Mingqian states everyone must commit fully to their path regardless of background. Knowing what grabs attention, Principal Li Mingtian highlights the leaderboard rankings. Adjusting his glasses with a smile, Principal Li Mingchen reveals it is time for rankings. A glowing hologram displays the leaderboard positions on screen for all students to see. Xingwei smirks at the board, noting he sits in 22nd behind a blonde girl in 21st. Hearing Xingwei's taunt behind him, Chen Shi keeps his cool as the bully brags about his spot. Checking the board, Xingwei is shocked to see Zhang Mengwei in second place, struggling to understand how that is possible. Turning her head with a serious look, Zhang Mengwei stares across the room and confirms in surprise that it is really that person. Unbelieving, the heavy-armored youth tells his teammate that it is impossible for Zhang Mengwei to end up in second place. Pondering the situation, the mature man with the goatee wonders if the girl already knew she would not take first place. Mocking Chen Shi, Xinwei taunts him for missing the top 30 and asks if he is still stuck at level 1.5. Taking the mic with a subtle smile, Principal Li Mingqian notes everyone is curious why the top spot remains a secret. Adjusting his glasses with a smile, Li Mingtian reveals this is unprecedented in history, saving the biggest surprise for last. With a quick snap of his fingers, tension explodes as the principal builds up dramatic suspense. Unveiling the big secret, the panel displays Chen Shi taking absolute first place as a level 8 Shadow Mage. Silence washes over the auditorium as everyone stares at the screen in complete disbelief. Students from various classes whisper among themselves, unable to believe the crazy ranking before their eyes. Zheng Wei loses his mind over the score, yelling that it must be a massive system glitch since Shadow Mages lack real power. Sitting in the auditorium box, the girl watches the chaos unfold with a mix of anxiety and anticipation. Watching from above, Lucy wonders if she picked the wrong side by doubting the youth's true potential. Nearby students whisper in confusion, debating how ridiculous the score shown on the main screen is. Sweating heavily with wide eyes, Xingwei shouts that he simply refuses to believe it. Shocked by the reveal, the youth gestures wildly, questioning how a weak shadow mage reached such a height. Seeing the absurd display, the scarred shirtless youth asks how anyone could level up that fast against all logic. Pointing her finger, the green-haired girl wearing red glasses asks if anyone ever hit such a high mark at the start. Completely incredulous, the green-haired girl argues that such extreme levels go beyond common knowledge. Commotion fills the hall as the updated ranking board glows before everyone's stunned eyes. Adjusting his glasses, the goatee tutor expected a level 8 result for the highest spiritual power in school history. System notes explain that hitting level 6 on day 1 requires top guilds clearing entire zones to farm experience. Looking at the board, Lucy regrets not joining his party yesterday, knowing she would be at the top now. Things heat up in the room as Xingwei gets warned directly that he needs to push much harder to keep up. Furious, Xingwei clenches his fists inside his armor, realizing his rival outclassed him humiliatingly. Smirking, the goatee tutor reflects that this batch of students is loaded with talents exceeding all predictions. Tracking the screen data and crowd reactions, the goatee tutor follows every detail of the class's impressive run. Thinking about Jiang Menguai's pushiness yesterday, our guy concludes she is hiding valuable info. Adjusting his collar with a smirk, the goatee tutor announces that it is time for the traditional session. Taking the mic on stage, Principal Li Mingqian starts a lecture on key dungeon survival rules. Watching intently, Jiang Menwai rests her chin on her hand, with a serious, focused face. Wrapping up the lecture, Li Mingqian ends the assembly, letting students consult instructors for questions. Under a bright sky framed by academy towers, the orientation session officially ends, dismissing everyone. Walking through the courtyard, students express shock over someone reaching level 8 on day 1. As our guy strolls outside, Lucy rushes over in the background while he calmly takes in the scene. Stopping right in front of him, Lucy reaches out her hand, trying to explain or complain about everything. Lucy tries to apologize for what happened yesterday while our protagonist stands there listening. Uncomfortable in the silence, Lucy notices Chen Shi's cold distance as he cuts her off mid-sentence. Ignoring his cold shoulder, Lucy attempts to form a party with him so they can level up together. Shutting down the offer immediately, the youth states he already teamed up with someone else. Feeling guilty, Lucy apologizes and begs him to forget her words yesterday, claiming she acted out of spite. Reminded of the past, the young man coldly replies that she was the one who said they belong in different worlds. Upset that he no longer cares, the girl cries, complaining that he threw their history away in a single day. Cutting off any compromise, Chen Shi makes it clear his decision is final and there is no turning back. Hearing he partnered with someone so powerful, Lucy stands completely frozen in total shock. Yang Menwai smirks and says it is time to move on, while the kid observes the grand buildings nearby. Still in disbelief, Lucy looks stunned as she confirms he truly teamed up with Jiang Menguai. Xingwei sits comfortably in an armchair, sipping a warm drink inside the lavish estate. Xinglu calmly sips his drink, analyzing the news that the youth reached level 8. Confirming it firmly, Xingwei stresses that the leaderboard does not make mistakes regarding his rival, explaining that the family kept him under control for years without ever giving him genuine respect. Examining the situation, Xingluo concludes that teaming up with that girl ruins their plans and threatens business. Asking his father directly, Xingwei wonders if the girl is attempting to recruit his rival. Pointing his finger, Xingluo dismisses the boy as an insignificant novice not worth his time. Questioning his gear, Xingwei doubts his rival obtained anything good while living in poverty nearby. Laughing it off, Xingwei argues hitting level 8 in one day breaks game logic regardless of carry speed. Looking at system data, Xingluo realizes that even with special contracts to bypass X penalties, the math fails. Xingluo concludes that only an extremely broken item multiplying experience could cause such a massive level jump. Rebutting his own theory, Xingluo notes the kid is not even level 10 and lacks the gold for X boosters. Considering the impact, Xingluo knows any faction holding such a treasure could pump out overpowered rookies. Worried about losing out to rivals, Xingwei gestures angrily, insisting their family cannot just sit by. Ordering a cold strike, Xingluo commands his men to eliminate the boy so the treasure falls into Xing hands. Driven by revenge, Xingwei clenches his armored fists with a sinister grin, promising to wipe out the kid. Leaving protected cities behind, the journey shifts to the ruined village of Mischidi in the wilderness. Crossing dark lands, Xingwei and his goons check the map as they near the kid's location. Standing in dense fog, Xingwei questions if they should keep going down a path that grows more dangerous. System alerts note that deadly moths attack continuous movement or scent of blood within 20 meters. Staring at his screen, Xingwei tells his men they reach the exact spot where the treasure is hidden. Marching through mist, Xingwei closes in on the area where Chen Shi and his partner rest. Eager to finish, the youth scans the area while his partner watches the rear from the shadows. Overconfident, Xingwei's henchmen admit they expected much more trouble completing this job. Mocking rookies, a goon complains that new players stick to safe zones instead of real challenges. Appearing behind them, a mysterious masked fighter mocks their reckless trek deep into wild territory. Confused, the kid grips his frost staff and questions their sudden approach with complete bewilderment. Holding a dark blade, the hooded intruder reveals the Xing family wants the treasure Chen Shi carries. Brandishing his blade, the masked man chuckles that picking a fight with the Xing family is pure bad luck. Needing cash, the masked goon confesses they took the hit job out of pure financial desperation. Surprised by the top faction's mention, Chen Shi finds sending assassins over a mild feud absurd. Chen Shi notes his purple item is low level and average value, making high-tier interest unlikely. Reasoning further, he knows a rich clan would not spend big hit money over basic blue gear and a staff. Setting theories aside, the kid focuses on the immediate threat instead of overthinking motives. Aura flaring down his arm, the youth warns that if anyone tries to take his life, he will strike back hard. Reaching White Mist Gorge, Chen Shi and his allies come face to face with mercs ready to strike. Looking around, our guy sees that the open terrain leaves them at a huge disadvantage against attacks. Bursting forward with speed, the youth lunges at his opponent with blade raised high. Cutting off her move, the foe holds a blade out and tells the girl to stay off her comms device. Pressing cold steel to Jie Mingwei's neck, the enemy warns that another trick will end tragically. Warning them, the youth reveals her father is the guild watch chief, asking if they have lost their minds. Ignoring their threats, Luo Jining steps out with a sly smirk, totally unbothered by the ambush. Mocking them, the armed Mork asks what her family status matters if she ends up buried in secret. Luo Jining notes how easy modern systems make it to dispose of bodies and erase threat trails. Mocking the mercs, Luo Jining asks if they are playing games or simply lost their fear of death. Knowing this spot is isolated, our guy plans to use a scroll to escape with all the loot cleanly. Spotting a rare item drop, Luo Jining widens his eyes and celebrates his sudden stroke of luck. Taunting our guy, the giant brute laughs that picking your own grave saves carrying the corpse later. Aiming his weapon at their faces, the hooded merc orders them forward under threat of death. Seeing their extreme speed, Chen Shi knows his summons and explosions would struggle in the open. Checking the path, the girl notices the gorge creates a choke point ideal for defense but deadly for escape. Walking between massive stone cliffs, the group advances closely guarded by the armed mercs. A level 13 mist-scale demonic moth hovers above the mountains, emitting a high screech. Raising his blade, the blue-haired masked fighter prepares to land a clean strike in the chaos. Delivering a massive strike, the blue-haired fighter slices the moth in half, mid-air. Falling with the sliced moth, Lu drops into the bushes as monster pieces crash to the dirt. Amazed by the easy kill, mercs question his power, but the brute notes they are all level 18 pros. Confident, our guy concludes that smart skill use and clever terrain can overcome the level gap. Panicking against 3 level 18 assassins, Zhang Menwai wonders how he stays so calm. Walking through White Mist Gorge, the group continues under towering rock formations. Gliding through forest shadows, a wolf appears wrapped in a fiery, glowing aura. As air-slicing sounds echo off mountains, the party looks up trying to locate the source in fog. slicing through air fast. The terrifying beast charges the party with wild rage as dust fills mist. Screen specs identify a level 15 fire beast rushing furiously toward our guy. Barely dodging fiery claws, our protagonist sidesteps as a flaming tail slices close by. Violent crashes shake the ground as dust and debris fly where the beast collides. Seeing danger, an ally leaps forward wielding dual axes to drop down on the beast. Taking advantage, our guy drives his dagger into the fire beast's weak point as it roars. Trapping the beast with coordinated strikes, the axe-wielding ally locks it down alongside our guy. Delivering an axe blow, the ally cuts deep into the fire beast as blood sprays across the ground. Dialogue notes these level 15 firefoxes take coordinated teamwork to defeat. As his ally strolls casually, Luo Jianing loses patience and demands to know if they arrived. Pointing ahead, Lu Jianing warns the narrow fork leads to a dead-end wall with no exit. Staring at the spot, the burly ally eagerly asks if the target is truly hiding right there. Overcome with haste, party members sprint along mountain trails, eager for the hunt. Smirking, Lu Jianing celebrates as targets fall right into his trap without effort. Staff in hand, Chen Shi channels power to unleash a merciless counterattack on enemy forces. Channeling energy into his Frost Emerald Bone Staff, the artifact glows with terrifying pressure. Summoning heavy armored skeleton warriors, our protagonist surrounds the enemy to block escape. Surprised by foes emerging from mountain rocks, Lu Jianing realizes plans took a turn. Facing intruders, goons react in confusion, wondering who this mysterious kid is. Zhang Mengwei stands confused, wondering why Chen Shi summoned so many skeletons out of nowhere. Relying on brute force, goons laugh off the summons as nothing more than fragile bones. Smirking at the boy, Lu Jianing claims he knew his rival would fight back, calling it pathetic. Smirking cynically, Chen Shi notes they do not need to trade fists because the fun is different. Taking a practical approach, Chen Shi orders his skeleton army to rush the enemies above. Smiling arrogantly with staff in hand, Chen Shi warns he will send them to the afterlife. Mocking the scene, the giant brute grins, claiming Chen Shi's strategy is full of flaws. Waving the blade, Luo Jianing finds it hilarious that anyone dares to challenge all three. Young Manhwa watches open-mouthed, questioning his sanity given the massive level gap. Backing away, Zhang Manhwa watches attentively, wondering what will happen next. Channeling staff magic, Chen Shi raises his artifact to summon dark shadows into battle. Seeing the summons happen before his eyes, Lu Jianing gasps as control slips away. Armored skeleton armies emerge from blue smoke, ready to fight on the youth's command. Terrified by the ghost army reflected in his eye, Lu Jianing loses his speech as hope vanishes. Massive dark legions sweep across mountains, encircling the enemy group with icy energy. Panicking at the sheer number of summons, Lu Jianing screams in shock at the crowd. Desperate, Lu Jianing yells at his team to kill the summoner before he becomes a worse issue. Seeing zero cooldown on his undead, Zhang Manhwa gets how he soloed Frostmole Cave. Following orders, the goons rush the summoner to end the fight before it is too late. Raising his staff, Chen Shi triggers Corpse Explosion to blast the area and block incoming goons. Goons rush in total desperation to eliminate the threat before the skeleton army causes damage. Amid red energy blasts, the goons charge furiously to stop Chen Shi's advance. Moving forward without looking back, Chen Shi guides his troops toward the objective. Surrounded by red-armored enemies, heavy skeletons advance relentlessly with glowing eyes. Red energy explodes across rock formations, kicking up dense smoke and dust clouds. Rapidly losing health, goons panic as they realize they could get shattered if this keeps up. A heavy boot slams the floor with power, kicking up dust in a fast sprint. Leaping high, a goon uses Shadow Strike with sharp blades aimed straight at Chen Shi. Panicked, his ally widens her eyes and shouts a quick warning to save him from the strike. Dropping from above, the masked goon plunges with blades ready to slice his target. Smirking, the masked goon celebrates his coming hit, sure of immediate victory. Chen Shi stays stone-faced as a red energy mark glows above the descending enemy. Confused, the goon screams as his clean strike deals 0 damage to the health bar. Yelling triple thrust, the masked goon unleashes 3 quick blade strikes at Chen Shi. Smiling calmly, Chen Shi does not flinch as enemy blades drive into his chest harmlessly. Smirking, Chen Shi apologizes for incoming damage while summoning skeleton warriors. Chen Shi explains enemy attacks fail because Soul Covenant Guardian redirects damage to summons. Gripping the goon's shoulders, the kid blocks escape as skeletons surround the panicked foe. Colossal armored skeletons crash down, filling the air with magic and trapping the goon. A massive red energy explosion erupts, sending a destructive shockwave across the field. Blast force hurls the masked goon into the air, sending his weapons flying away. Launched skyward by the blast, the masked goon spits blood as his remaining defense shatters. Glaring down at the fallen goon, our protagonist coldly asks how he plans to end this now. Cornered and shaking, the masked man swallows hard, torn between fighting or bowing down. Desperate to survive, the masked goon crawls on the floor, offering his fortune for mercy. Terrified, the masked goon begs for mercy, offering all his gear as skeletons await orders. Smirking at the begging goon, our guy notes survival law means eliminating foes and taking all. Looking up, the goon asks if our protagonist would spare him if he begged for mercy. Without hesitation, the masked goon accepts any condition just to keep breathing. Staring straight into his eyes, our protagonist mercilessly states he hates liars. A red energy blast fills the area as Luo Jining watches the outcome carefully. Refilling after combat, our protagonist's mana bar rises, preparing him for the next fight. Surrounded by blue glowing skeleton summons, our guy gathers energy to guide his army. Walking through White Mist Gorge, the kid warns that firefoxes could ambush them any time. Lost in thought, Jiang Mengwei snaps back as the kid asks her to split the collected loot. Looking at the glowing loot bag, the kid grins widely, unable to hide his excitement. Floating windows display 85,000 gold, purple assassin gear, and upgraded blues. Seeing the power gap, Jiang Mengwei feels her special class pales beside his efficiency. Grinning, the kid celebrates the sale profits and hands 45,000 gold to his partner. Declining the gold, Jiang Mengwei returns all the coins, claiming she does not need the cash. Pushing the rare items and gold onto her, our protagonist mentally celebrates his wealth. With the deal settled, the youth leaves them to tackle the isolated realm dungeon for loot. Leading his skeleton army through thick mist, the kid marches beside Jiang Mengwei on guard. Giant rock walls tower ahead as thick fog hides what lurks deeper in the mountains. Exploring the mountain, Jiang Mengwei shouts in panic, warning our guy of sudden danger. A mist-flame-tailed fox leaps out like flaming lightning, setting the ground ablaze. Red blasts erupt as the firefox ravages the ground, but our protagonist stays cool. Using staff skill, the youth knocks out the fierce fox, leaving it defeated on the ground. Walking casually, the kid remarks that traveling this level 10 area feels surprisingly easy. Jian Mengwei stares in utter disbelief as Chen Shi stands surrounded by skeleton summons. Setting curiosity aside, Jiang Mengwei decides not to pry into his class secrets. Asking if she has concerns, our guy gets a quick no as he holds his staff while she watches. Our guy notes that a level 10 isolated realm rift should equal a full party challenge. Explaining rules, the kid notes isolated realm dungeons require a party of 2 to 5 players. Wiping tears, Jiang Mengwei grumbles she was dragged into this rift just to meet party limits. After 10 minutes of prep, the screen shows the entry option, and the kid makes his decision. Confirming his pick, the kid triggers the rift as a massive blue portal tears open before them. Offering encouraging words, Jiang Mengwei shows full confidence as she smiles at him. Moving fast through the glowing portal, the kid crosses the space barrier into the dungeon. Stepping firmly on rocky ground, his metal boot kicks up a dense cloud of dust and sand. Looking across dust and rocks, Jiang Mengwei widens her eyes and alerts him to a fresh threat. System analysis notes an isolated round dungeon with fixed levels, random mobs, and rules. Explaining the species, Jiang Mengwei says, though slow, they attack aggressively in heavy armor. Ignoring her warnings, the young man casually waves his hand and says it is time to start. Summoning dark magic through his staff, the kid releases blue energy, raising armored skeletons. At the front, a colossal stone monster covered in glowing embers watches the army in surprise. Seeing the huge beast rush in, the lead skeleton grips its sword, bracing for the impact. Wearing a confident grin, the kid gives the decisive order for his summoned force to charge. The black armored hound absorbs the skeleton strikes, leaving our guy shocked at 0 damage. Jiang Mengwei raises her arms in refusal as Chen Shi smirks, noting no help is needed. Upset, Jiang Mengwei husses in frustration, annoyed at being treated like dead weight. Drawing his frostbone staff, the kid channels energy to launch a massive spell on the enemy. Red slashes cut through the air as the hound pack and skeletons collide on the field. Our guy explains that chain corpse explosions shatter rock armor, dropping the giant hound fast. Sarcastically, our protagonist tells her to treat this like a parch stroll while he claims loot. Massive hits shatter rocky ground into deep rifts as red energy blasts destroy the surroundings. System chimes confirm party victory over the black armored hound, awarding 180 XP. stunned by the earned points. The youth and girl stare at the screen after a crazy fast victory. Chen Shi celebrates the huge X payout while Jiang Minwei stands amazed at his farm speed. Stacking X bonuses from slaying the giant beast, the party realizes leveling will be super fast. Floating system windows, log rapid monster kills, adding more experience points to party progress. Glowing gear and heavy armor drop on stone, proving this realm offers far superior dungeon loot. Checking drops, Chen Shi notes heavy earth armor is unfit for mages, but will fetch good auction gold. Sensing a surge of energy nearby, Chen Shi and Jiang Minwei pause to see what is happening. Jiang Minwei gets a level 6 ping, and the kid watches in surprise, asking what happened. Smirking, Jiang Minwei celebrates her level up with excitement after farming monsters. Grinning, Chen Shi congratulates his partner, satisfied with their dungeon progress so far. Patting her head, Chen Shi smiles as she sincerely thanks him for the party invite and level gains. Smiling back, the girl confirms that the feeling is completely mutual. Sharp winds whistle as a swift energy blast cuts through the sky. Pointing ahead, Chen Shi alerts Jiang Minwei that they found what they were looking for. A level 15 golden crystal hound appears before them, blocking their path. An aggressive stance and roaring show the giant beast will not go easy on intruders. Surrounded by armored skeletons, Chen Shi and Jiang Minwei take full control amid magic waves. Orange glowing eyes reflect the fierce drive of the skeleton squad advancing without mercy. Red energy waves erupt across the field, forming sharp spikes that slice toward targets. Baring sharp teeth, the beast roars wildly, signaling an intense fight ahead. Skills like rock armor and shattering howl activate to boost defenses in battle. Inspecting the magic shield, our guy realizes the beast built up massive magic defense. Holding his staff with a floating cube, the kid focuses energy, wondering if his damage will hit. Summoning hundreds of skeletons, the army swarms in, surrounding the lion beast with battle cries. Red energy explosions tear through the terrain as sharp spikes shatter everything. Under intense pressure, the beast growls as its armored shell cracks from heavy strikes. Bleeding from its jaws, the giant armored beast collapses to the ground, unable to endure. Standing before a huge cosmic portal, Jiang Minwei and Chen Shi hold weapons, ready for what comes next. Screen alerts confirm the party defeated the Black Hound, earning 500 experience. With wide eyes and stunned faces, Chen Shi and Jiang Minwei stare at a shocking reveal. Legendary drops float on screen, showing blue boots, a purple axe, and piles of gold coins. Glowing gold, legendary armor appears with beast carvings on the chest, a super rare drop. Thrilled with the drop, the kid celebrates landing a gold-tier legendary equipment piece. As money drops near the portal, Arkai urges them to leave the place immediately. Classic design marks the Xing family estate under a bright sunny blue sky. Jinglu reassures his worried father that the 3 hired hitmen are simply offline right now. Resting his face in his hand, Xingluo suspects the lame excuse about all mercs vanishing at once. Xingluo wonders how weak targets beat the mercs, unless the Zhang family intervened to protect them. Xingluo ponders if the target was killed or if the mercs stole the legendary item and fled. Xingluo loses his temper over the thought that mercs betrayed his family and took the item. Xingluo freezes in shock as a goon bursts in with the worst possible news for family plans. Yelling in panic, the goon reports that the targets returned unhurt and are walking the city. Frowning in rage, Xingluo realizes Chen Shi is unharmed and the hired mercs failed completely. Xingwei hears they escaped unhurt, noting dealing with his rival later will be much harder. Jingwei warns his father that leaked info about illegal assassins poses a huge danger to them. Xingluo pauses the issue, telling goons to monitor news and track down the 3 mercs. Traditional walls frame the Jiang mansion, where news of the day's events arrives in full force. Jiang Minwei enters the living room and gasps in surprise upon seeing Luo Zhening with her dad. Luo Fan introduces himself as a core guild member wearing a polite, mysterious smile. Losing his patience, Jiang Zhengsheng shouts angrily at his daughter, asking where she ran off to. Ignoring the scolding, she says she raided dungeons and reached level 6, shocking her father. Luofan praises her level 6 achievement on day 2, and she jokes she would obey if her dad praised her too. Jian Zhengxiang cuts in, asking Luofan to step aside so he can discuss urgent family business. Interrupting her dad, Jiang Minwei sets a stack of files on the table, keeping it professional. Opening a thick book, Jiang Minwei reads attentively, while crossing her legs in an armchair. Holding books, Jiang Minwei ponders whether to tell her dad and uncle about Chen Shi. Sitting thoughtfully over files, her dad notes 2 big issues, a level 60 dungeon and national war. Sipping tea, Zhang Zhengxiang explains that Black Dragon Ridge costs too many lives for reckless raids. emphasizing zero room for error. He notes their recent retreat left them vulnerable after Lu Jining's fall. He considers the crushing blow rival nations would take if they secure exclusive dragon gear. Looking grave, he warns that national standing is crumbling after 3 years of war losses. Silence fills the room as Zhang Xiang waits, but everyone remains quietly somber. Firmly, Zhang Xiang states that if the nation needs him, he will clear Black Dragon Ridge. He points out that the neighboring nation uses extreme human sacrifice to clear the dungeon. Leaders estimate our guy's rapid growth over 30 days could save the nation from ruin. Zhang Manhwa sees that endless skeletons and corpse explosion match an entire party's power. She notes that his contribution to the country would be huge if he levels fast this month. She wonders how society would treat someone who can solo giant raids and turn war tides alone. Zhang Zhengxiang counters that large conflicts require solid logistics, not just one fighter. He reiterates that solo power fantasies are foolish when tackling massive dungeons. Zhang Mingwei ponders how society would react to one person who alters a nation's destiny. Standing by the sunset window, Zhang Zhong rests his hand on the table, pondering deep. He assures her that the entire nation would mobilize all resources to support such talent. Charged with adrenaline, Jiang Minwei shouts determinedly that she is about to level up. Doubting deep talk about the country's fate, Zhang Shengxiang stares blankly, thinking. A frozen metal ring with solid ice pillars projects an intense, freezing chill. Surrounded by icy mobs in a tough dungeon, Chen Shi stands calmly in the center of battle. Close up in a blizzard, Chen Shi focuses intensely on the dungeon's freezing dangers. Blue magic flares as the screen shows our protagonist hitting higher marks on his board. Huge stone pillars rise into the sky as magical flame burns inside a decorative basin. Magic flames burn brightly as heat fills every corner of the massive stone structure. X counters surge as Chen Shi commands skeletons to blow up frozen rodents in the dungeon. The screen confirms Chen Shi reached level 10, making things wilder for dungeon monsters. Celebrating the milestone, the kid feels his power surge, making fights much easier. Beating the boss drops rare purple magic boots, and the kid celebrates the perfect build item. Purple magic boots take focus as the kid equips them via the panel to speed up movement. Staring at a screen, the kid notices reaching level 10 unlocks an awesome new skill. The panel shows Grasp of the Underworld costs 10 mana to root foes for 3 seconds infinitely. Skill details show it pins targets in place while the kid plans their total destruction. Evaluating calmly, he concludes spell success lies in crowd control rather than raw damage. 0 cooldown and infinite casts within 10 meters freeze any target as long as mana holds. His level 10 golden trait Hand of Infinity extends skill range by 1 meter per kill endlessly. Smiling, Chen Shi sees his new trait pairs with all active skills to extend range indefinitely. Thinking ahead, Chen Shi calculates that slaying 1,000,000 mobs will extend spell range by miles. Chen Shi notes that taking an enemy's head from 1,000 meters away will be effortless later. Smirking as he apologizes for the damage, Chen Shi shows that the fun was just beginning. Aiming his staff forward, Chen Shi decrees an end to nearby frozen beasts and summons skeletons. A summoned skeleton stabs a frost mole, killing it instantly and giving extra experience points. Multiple skeleton servants march alongside our guy, hunting down frozen beasts trying to escape. Every hit kills another frozen beast, sending X counters climbing fast on screen. As X counts flare with pop-ups, our guy steps relentlessly across icy terrain in magic boots. Massive Frost Mole King appears before our guy, heavy armored with metal spikes shaking the floor. Smiling confidently at the Mole King, our guy delivers a warning while gripping his staff, triggering Grasp of the Underworld. Dark magic flares as our guy readies his attack on the boss. Dark tendrils shoot toward Frost Mole King, pinning the boss in place for the next strike. Despair fills the Frost Mole King as shadow claws root his massive body, making him roar in rage. Roaring in fury to break free, Frost Mole King bares sharp fangs, struggling against the spell. Staff in hand, the kid leads a heavily armed undead army to charge the enemy forces. Panicking in dark magic, the Mole King feels shadow claws choke him as skeletons strike. Smirking victory, the kid triggers Corpse Explosion to eliminate the mole leader for good. Amid red and yellow blasts, 2 heavy armored fire skeletons emerge ready to crush all. A massive red energy blast fills the cavern as dark skulls shatter everything around the boss. System screens log boss defeat while the monster body lies down, and the kid directs his knights. Grinning, the kid explains no enemy within 300 meters survives his infinite CC. Realizing how much he grew, Chen Shi knows he could easily crush those 3 assassins now. Starving after farming, the kid calls it a day and dismisses his skeleton warriors. Anticipating profits, the kid expects rare dungeon drops to earn him a serious amount of gold. Spending 220,000 gold on temp gear is wasteful when leveling invalidates it fast. Saving his cash, the kid plans to buy top gear at higher levels for a massive power jump. Returning to the orphanage, the kid arrives at the door, calling out to see the matron. The matron greets him with fresh orchard fruit, telling him to eat well, which he acknowledges. Taking the fruit, the youth smiles softly and decides to get some rest as she requested. Lying on his bed holding the fruit, the kid relaxes, letting the day's fatigue fade away. He reflects that Shadow Mage paired with his golden traits easily outperforms secret classes. Munching fruit, the youth resolves to get strong enough to fight alongside Uncle Luo. Suddenly, a breeze blows and the window creaks open on its own in the dim twilight. Startled by the creak, Chen Shi jumps up from bed, staring at the window in utter confusion. Questioning her sanity for breaking in at night, Chen Shi glares at Zhang Menwai in annoyance. Leaning on the window with a grin, Zhang Menwai explains she was testing new class skills. Annoyed by his scolding, Zhang Menwai grumbles that secret skills exist to scale walls quietly. Ignoring his lecture, Zhang Menwai drops down nimbly, showing off mastery over her class. Looking around surprised, Zhang Menwai remarks she did not expect a boy's room to be so clean. Smirking, Chen Shi retorts she did not sneak in late just to inspect his clean bedroom layout. Surprised by her sudden question about national service, Chen Shi wonders what she is driving at. She suggests joining Destiny Covenant, but Chen Shi skeptically notes it is not an overnight choice. Pressing her point, Zhang Menwai promises her father's influence can boost his level growth.